Hopefully Drew Solo shows up. We'll give him a minute. Let him see we're live.
We have somebody new in our chat, and their name is hilarious. It's Awkward Teeth and Hair Productions.
Awkward Teeth and Hair Productions.
I love that.
Do you live in the UK, perhaps? I don't know.
And then something's going on with like Manny. Something about being drunk and before hiking, or I don't know. I missed the story between.
What the hell did you do, Manny?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was him and Wagyu were talking back and forth. I think he's coming back. Oh, Manny is in Europe, and Mrs. Manny broke her ankle in Italy.
Oh, what?
Oh, no. How did she do that?
Damn. What's up, Hans Volt? What's up, Scotty? What's up, Orb? Scotty said, awkward hair as in coochie fringe?
Scotty.
Steve. Wagoo!
Poor Mrs. Dr. Synth. That's crazy.
I know, Manny. What the fuck happened? Monkey Munga.
I saw something
George
about
G's.
drinking
Andy Fireblades Musa.
and hiking. So
Viral Beats.
Drinking and hiking, that's what happened?
Hug Monster.
I don't know.
Uncle
Missed a
Chrome.
step trying to line. Oh, she missed this step trying to line up for a photo.
Oh,
Not the selfie breakage.
shit. Damn, I'm sorry, Manny. Was it at the end of the trip, hopefully?
Mhm.
Fuck. Grace Griffin.
Grace, chitty chitty bang bang.
Hi, Gracie. It's so nice to see
Roy
you in the
Droid
chat.
Void. Azio Head.
Milo. Not that Milo's in here. I just like to say that in your Davy's voice.
And Davey's in.
Davy. Num num.
RDV, baby.
Dr. Synth, easy do it. Wagyu said I broke mine just at home a few years ago. Slipped over and broke the fibula. Ooh.
That'll do it. That will do it.
It's so weird how accidents and breaking bones and dislocating stuff can happen so easy.
Dog bites.
and dog bites. When I lived in California, my old house, we had a big step going into a back room, and it was abnormally like tall. So you had to like, there should have been technically maybe another step there so you can step down and then step down again to go into that room, but there wasn't. So it was pretty high. I stepped out into that room to go do something. I was barefoot because I was gonna go to sleep, and that back room was all concrete. So it was really hot. There was no cushion. And I stepped down and I heard a crack. I was like, oh, that's weird.
The legs.
So I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning and my foot is like 4 times its size.
Damn, why didn't you feel it then?
Exactly.
That's a crack.
Yeah. And I heard it.
Fracture or was it?
It was a break. My foot broke from like the middle of it all the way out to the end, like on the left-hand side. It was my left foot, and I'm like, but I just walked down the stairs.
Watch that last step, Bob. Juicy.
Geez, Wagyu has titanium in his collarbone from when he broke it mountain biking.
Tell him to hop on Tell him I don't believe him. Hop in the Streamyard and show us.
Oh, oops. Give me a second. All right, Scotty, should be in there. I'm tired. I forgot to put the link in the email.
You just asked.
No, I sent the email, but I forgot to actually put the link in the email. So they received an empty email. Oh, Manny's wife has a temp cast until they can see the orthopedic back home.
So I wonder if their insurance doesn't cover if you're out of country. That's the thing, right? So
Who knows?
maybe they reimburse you when you get back if you tell them the fees that you paid. Ooh.
It all depends on the insurance. Our insurance covers worldwide, out of the country, out of the state.
Because you're covered, right? Because the individual, it doesn't matter where you're at, as long as you're under that insurance carrier, right?
Well, like let's say we go, let's just say we go to Costa Rica, and something happens. The insurance, we're covered under our insurance there. So.
Hello?
It's the only reason, like, the majority of the people join this union because the insurance is really good.
Even when you're out of work.
Right, because you bank hours.
My volume okay?
Scotty, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh, why not? Why?
Why? I don't know. Maybe push a button. Oh, there you go.
You hear me now?
Uh-huh.
That's weird. I didn't push any buttons.
Yeah, it was me. I put up the fader.
Well, you see there.
I'm thinking, shit, I didn't do anything. What the hell's going on?
I'm
tired today,
tired. Oh my god.
How many horses did you do today?
Yeah.
We did this big fucking horse today, man. We had to go into like a stockade and tie his legs up. And it was hot as fuck in that barn.
It took three of
Really?
us. We
I
were
must have dropped
all
like
sweating.
3 gallons of
At
water
least.
out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, this horse is huge. I think I have a picture of him. I can share it.
You'd have to make sure and take plenty fluids with you to replenish your fluids when you're doing that.
Yeah,
because you
we
would
do.
dehydrate so
Oh, you
quick.
forgot your
we forgot the
electrolytes.
electrolytes. Damn.
When we go back in,
Yeah.
just take them. Did you guys see that picture that New Dreamer posted in our Discord? If you guys are in our Discord, go check it out. It's in the general channel. It's an autonomous security bot.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Ooh. So it just runs loose doing its own thing. It can
Takes
zap
your picture
ass.
and shit.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
some bullshit. I haven't heard from New Dreamer in a minute.
He's busy. He has a new job that's taking up a lot of his time.
Still no word from Drew Solo?
Mm-mm.
Did you email him again?
Mm-hmm. Them popos might have gone back and been like, nah. Even Wagyu said, I was wondering about Drew. Hopefully not back in the slammer.
Oh, surely not. I hope he's not.
Mm-mm. I know. Let's see if I can.
I'm just doing this email for you just now, Steve Smith. Sonish Lucius.
Okay, check that out.
Oh, wow.
He's the big one.
And he's a proper twat.
Mm-hmm. He's sweet. I mean, he.
Is that a Clydesdale or a Frisian?
Oh, that's a gypsy banner.
Yeah.
Okay. Very similar looking to a Clydesdale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a little smaller and they got
It's, like,
fucking
shorter,
attitude
like,
issues.
yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But we had to tie his legs up to what he's in now. Like they got little posts to tie his legs up.
Yeah, if you see this thing right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
So we bring up his leg, bend it, put it here, and then this red strap, hold it down so he can't
Right,
move it.
okay. Is that just like these ratchet strap kind of things to hold him back? Is it?
It's like a thick belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did well. He's learning to stay in there and behave.
Yeah. He looks quite young. Is he quite young?
Oh, I don't remember how old he is. Like
12, I believe.
10 or 12.
Yeah, 10 or
He
12.
looks good for
Yeah.
12, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And he moves like a proper fucking 10-year-old.
Oh, I'm in
He's
love
still a
with that
dangerous horse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
when you're working with his feet, something happened to him, and so he just doesn't like it. But otherwise, he's really gentle.
Yeah, you can ride him,
Yep.
but he's a proper twat with his feet.
He's a big boy.
He's big and he's nice when like I said, when you don't touch his feet. Uncle Chrome said that's the equine tower of terror. Or tower of power.
Tower of power, yeah. Right, that's me done my emails now. I'm back. This is a new one, it's sounding good. This.
Yeah, I just threw together a couple of ARPs from 2 different machines, and it's nothing that we were thinking about, you know.
Yeah, sounding good
threw
though.
it together, yeah. And the key of G, Scotty, key of G.
G. What tempo you at?
90.
90.
Awkward T said, nice to see the sub 37. It's a great synth.
Yeah, you know, I had a hard decision to make. I wanted to get the Pro 3. It was either the Pro 3 or the Sub 37. Both mono, both do fabulous things. It's just that Sub 37 was so chunky sounding and thick,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, that's it.
Done.
The Pro 3, I think the thing that makes the Pro 3 shine is its sequencer. It's probably the best sequencer that I've seen inside an analog synth.
And that's why I was going to get it, Scotty, because of the sequencer alone.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of mod sequencing and everything in it. It's so cool.
And that's why I bought the Strymon Night Sky, because that little pedal is a synth in its own.
Yeah.
Because you could sequence that too, you know, and freeze tones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Sonis, man, he's turned my mind around as how I feel about music suddenly. Like he's just giving me different windows to look down and or look out of
different
perspectives. Yeah.
That's why doing these team events is so cool, because you can get a different
They
perspective.
give you more tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to find me some water effects, like running water.
I thought I heard something that you were doing that sounded like water on another song.
Bit of rain.
I like that.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Sorry, I was speaking there, my mic was off. What's new?
Typical Scotty.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me every time.
I don't know. Maybe I save these settings and turn this into something.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dope.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, it's very kind of tranquil kind of sound, eh? Yeah, it's very nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Scotty, I'm going to say this and...
It's enhancing the tiredness. Jeez, yeah.
Meditative. That's a fucking hard word to say.
Meditative. Meditative.
Meditative.
Butcher this.
Scott, you're ducking. Why are you ducking, Scotty?
I thought Marlon was throwing things at me.
That's right.
Audio. I shouldn't be ducking because I'm on. I'll turn it off and turn it on again. Cancellation on, off.
There we go.
Is that now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Because even when he was talking, it ducked a little bit.
Ah, okay.
It's good now.
Sometimes the settings just need to be reset. It's strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, way better, dude.
Uncle Chrome said Scotty is
A turduncan.
a turduncan.
A turkey duck. Settings down, or we need to write these settings down. Go ahead and drop my mic while I read this off to you.
Okay, hang on.
Drop the mic.
Name one thing, one habit that you wish you could break today.
Habit, I would say, would be smoking.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I kicked it. Well, I'm saying kicked it. I kicked it and only vaped for probably 2.5 years. And then just this year again, I've started smoking little cigarillos again. And it's like, fuck. Stupid, crazy habit.
So it's more than vaping. Fuck, Scotty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's little cigarillos. Not many, maybe 5 a day, something like that. But it's too many anyway. It's more than enough. Any amount's too much.
Let's see. For me, probably, God, be able to break my OCD habits.
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one, though. That's like, a tough one.
It's, sometimes it's all consuming. Like, things have to be in a certain way, or it, like, if it's moved or not done, like, my anxiety goes through the roof.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Vicky says vaping.
Sorry, Lamont. Have you got specific things that you're OCD with, Marlon, or is it just anything and everything?
Probably anything and everything.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think everyone does have a touch of OCD. I think everyone's got it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But it's when you get to the sort of extent, because I'm like that. Like, if I want a job done, I'll just do it myself because I basically don't trust anybody else to do it, because I'll end up complaining at them that they've not done it right. Not so much with Shona, because Shona's just as OCD as me, so. Yeah, vaping, Bicky, yep, toxic. Yeah, absolutely.
I know vaping is supposed to be the healthier way to go, but toxins are toxins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I need to move that camera over a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know what habit do I want to release?
Mine is probably staying more positive. I would like to be balanced.
Say that again?
Staying more positive, just like to be balanced.
Oh.
Mentally.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I used to have a good habit of staying positive 24/7.
People generally fuck that though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People generally fuck that up for you.
Yeah,
because
they do.
if you've always been that way by yourself in nature, right? Or you've learned to be that way, there's some outside influences that'll fuck that up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think my biggest habit is being more truthful to myself. I think sometimes I lie to myself a little too much about things, or Marilyn calls it a big heart. I don't know. I think if I was sat down and told I had to release something, it'd probably be more truthful to myself.
Uncle Scrum says he's a carbaholic.
Oh, he can't let go of the carbs.
I love how Lamar stood up and brought his base closer to him.
I did. It's like a comfort thing.
It's like a pet or something.
It is.
Like, oh, I need you over here.
Look, I was looking at it, and I was like, why are you so far away from me?
You gotta,
Hang on. If you're going to play that game.
Turn. There you go.
What? What is Scotty?
I just told myself,
Yeah.
was it?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh, Andy Fireblade Musa has a good one. He said for him it would be self-doubt. Nothing I do is good enough.
Damn, that's a good one.
I.e. my music.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, just have more confidence.
Awkward
in yourself.
teeth and hair productions. What is it? What does he say?
I have
a
food
food storage
OCD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's got to be lined out.
You know what?
That would be me in the
This is
kitchen,
not
I
meant to
think.
be offensive, but what that reminds me of, has anyone seen Sleeping with the Enemy?
Oh, well, that was a long
The
time
movie.
ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
a long time ago,
And
yeah.
that was what that guy was like. Remember, it was all the towels had to be in a specific line, and all the tins in the cupboard all had to be facing forward.
That's how my OCD is.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it?
it's so bad. Like, it in the kitchen and house anywhere. Like, things have to be put how I perceive it to be. Like, it needs to be. Like, even the towels too. Like, towels have to be folded in a certain way, and then all the colors have to be coordinated. Even like our closets. He asked me to help him arrange his closets, and everything is like in its spot where it needs to be. Like short sleeves shirts come over here,
Yeah, long sleeve shirts.
and then it's
go there.
color coordinated, so it goes from light to dark, and then long sleeve, and then hoodie. Like it's
3/4 sleeve.
Organized.
yeah, and then 3/4 sleeve, and then those are color coordinated. It's the OCD is bad.
Well, you'd hate my wardrobe. Everything's just
Everywhere.
a mishmash. Yeah. No, it's all on hangers, but it's just anywhere, wherever it goes, it fits. That's it. That'll do.
Steve said, I think you have to be realistic and catch yourself. I think that was to someone else's comment. I don't know.
Vicky said, "What the fuck is 3/4 sleeve?" What
I'm wearing
what he's
right
wearing
now.
right now. Yeah.
Roy Joy Voight said, meth is pretty popular, but staying balanced is probably good too.
Yeah. Balance is good, Roy.
Hello, my name is Paul.
Good
and
night,
I'm
Davey.
a carbaholic. Good night, Davey. Rest well.
Night, Davey. Nom nom.
Night, Davey.
Of all people, you should be honest with yourself. Yeah,
Uncle
Steve.
Chrome said, "I stopped having self-doubt when I embraced the I suck, so what else?"
Vicky said, beating myself up and doubting myself. That's seems to be a popular one, right?
Yep.
Especially as a musician.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are really honest with themselves, though. That's a tough one for me, to be honest with myself. Just come on, man. Sit down. Be honest.
Yeah, I think my OCD and just my stubbornness and big-headedness sometimes gets in the way of things.
Right. At what point are these things not just our qualities? Maybe some of these things are who we are.
But I think also, like, if you have you have a certain thing, right? So I think instead of perceiving it to be bad, you should try to perceive it as good, right? So like try to find the positive
In it.
Yeah.
in it. Like with my OCD, I'm like, okay, well, the positive part of it is the home is always going to be organized and clean. So that's a positive.
You don't have to find shit.
Yeah, you know where it is.
Yeah, it's always perception when it comes down to any of it. And it's your own self-perception is what you think is fucked. Somebody else could be like, dude, why are you, like, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's always a perception thing. Yep. Andy said, I am confident, but inside I fight it.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? I think that's sparring with the ego. I think we all do it, you know? Studio 8 Effects said, I think we all suffer from that. I think we all like to get in the ring with our ego and spar with it. And ego will paint us to be something we truly are not. But a lot of us tend to follow it anyways.
Wagyu said, I know where everything is. It's just more like an organized chaos.
That means why Google's house is a pigsty.
When I used to go into the office when I lived in California, when I first started in the career that I'm in now. And we would go into the office, and it was like cubicles, right? So everybody had like their own cubicle. And there were desks that I went by, and I'm like, how can you function? Like, how are you working like this? Like, they literally had like the teeniest of open space on their desk for the mouse. And it was like piles and mountains of paperwork and stuff. And I'm like, for me, that'd probably give me like anxiety to try to work on a desk like that. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, if you work like this in your workplace, how does your home look?
Yeah,
probably similar to their car and workplace.
Because their car did look exactly the same. Like it was like, I'm like, how can you? Oh, I just can't. I can't.
But that's the thing. To each his own, though. You know.
Yeah.
Steve Lucius said, I try to be honest with myself as much as possible, but my internal dialogues do argue sometimes.
Oh, yeah. and I think that's the nature. I think that's the human nature of it all.
Do you think anyone is like truly 100% fully confident in themselves?
No. I mean, even if they are
the ones that give off that sort of vibe, I think that's
strong-headed.
Yeah. I think there's still some underlying residual. You're human. You have some defects. No one.
And I think if you don't have self-doubt, you would never try to better yourself.
Right. Then what's the strive for? Who you gonna? It's not even about impressing someone else. It's about impressing yourself. Like who? You,
it's like the yin and yang of it all.
But look at Andy Fireblade Musa last night. You know, he's a perfect example. He fought with himself.
Oh, over that, and it was nuts.
Over that piece of music, and it was bonkers. And I kind of wonder how long he fought with himself before he said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, unlist it, and here we go.
Especially if you know you make good music, right? And your friends tell you that your music is good. At what point, like, yeah, we can do some sucky shit, but how bad would it suck before we release it? We would know if it's like dangerously sucks ass, right? We wouldn't let it out of the closet, but I don't know.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why it stems that way. Is it the ego?
The yin and the yang of it all.
Yeah. And I know a habit, like dirty habits are, maybe Scotty's got the vaping issues, or maybe, you know, what about things that aren't like vaping issues? You know, is most of what we think bad just because we think they're bad?
Well, I mean, if you do something and the outcome is not good, then it's probably
smoking leads to cancer.
Right, but does it like look at George Byrne. He lived to be 100 and something years old, right?
Right, but some people can get away with that,
and
right?
Some people.
Yeah, their bodies can take it more than others.
But we don't know also if
it's mind over matter.
If he was sick internally, because you know
if you have cancer and a doctor never told you, do you have cancer?
Shortened your cat theory. Yes and no.
There's
you
been,
both have it and you both don't have it.
Right, but there's been studies. People lived a long time without knowing they had cancer. And then when a doctor, I know a person, that's why I'm saying this. When a doctor told them they had cancer, they died within 3 months. And they've had it for like years.
Yeah, the stress.
It's God, it happened this morning. It's the power of perception. You give somebody an idea,
and the mind runs wild with
placebo effect.
Yeah, and it happened.
It was just a way to say placebo effect.
Yeah, this morning we were looking at I was looking at pictures, and one of the pictures was of the pyramid in Giza, but it was like a bird's eye view looking directly down at it. And when I first saw it, it just looked like a hallway that just kept going. And then I showed Lamont the picture, and he was like, oh, that's the top of the pyramid. So he saw that right away, and I was like, oh, really? Because isn't it a hallway that never ends? And he goes, now I see the hallway.
Yeah. And that was the power of persuasion, too.
Yeah.
Like,
you just give them an idea and a thought. So, like, for those people who didn't really have cancer and they tell them, oh, you know, they got misdiagnosed, all of a sudden they feel sick and, you know, and things aren't going well And so like how you said, like
Yeah.
if they do, but nobody tells them, they're totally
Yeah,
fine.
my older brother had a friend. His name was Joey, and they grew up together. And Joey lived with cancer for 4 to 5 years, just as healthy as he can be. And he went to the doctor for a checkup because he hadn't been in a long time. And take in mind, he was healthy as he could be, at as healthy as he thought.
Mm-hmm.
No sensations of not being hungry, still had his weight. The moment the doctor said, man, you've got stage 4 cancer and you've had it for a while. The moment the doctor told him, that killed him.
I'm sure stress
Isn't that insane?
lowers the immune system.
Yeah.
And it compromises you, and he's and that's it.
Yeah.
Because now your body is in full awareness, right? Because you
Right.
put yourself in that full awareness.
So mind over matter is a fucking
it's
crazy
a mother
thing.
humper.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mother humper.
Yeah, and they do say like people who are prone to be stressed out generally live shorter lives than people who are just like, hey, fuck it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
They do say that stress does shorten your life. So if you're prone to that kind of, if your brain is like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if somebody's telling you you've got cancer, some people would just say, well, okay, I'll deal with this, and then other people will totally stress out about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And just
And
completely
they may not
shut
show
down.
it, but internally they'll be stressing about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was a that woman I watched. She used to be in that sitcom with the nerds.
From Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. So she has a podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. I watch her
And
stuff.
she has someone on, another woman who studied stress, and we are supposed to have a certain amount of stress in our life,
To keep you alive.
right?
Yeah.
And if you don't stress, she did a study on people who don't stress, who have like they're financially situated or not, it didn't matter. But she found that people who really just didn't have stresses in the world, they were dying from different diseases because they weren't stressing enough. And she was like, there's this happy balance that you can't be overstressed, but you can't be understressed. And that was her whole field. And she was just studying that whole phenomenon. And it just goes to show, like,
I mean,
everything is like, Scotty thinks vaping is bad, but if you vape Monday through Wednesday and you didn't do the rest, like, is it a habit? Is it a nasty habit at that point? Did you find balance for it? Or is there something in our mind that tells us, look, what we're doing is a nasty habit and we need to stop it? You know what I mean?
But at what point do you listen to that? That's the problem with addiction. People find a way to not listen to that, even though they know it's bad for them. The whatever part of the psyche, the ego says, yeah, but it makes us feel better for whatever
I think
of time.
people who are like that, though, I think it really is like a chemical imbalance.
It could very well be. Like, that's the thing with addiction. When you set off these certain chemicals you're taking,
Yeah.
you're imbalancing your chemicals.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get dependent on that. And back to anxiety, but she's probably, I mean, she is right, it sounds like. Because you have good anxiety, you have bad anxiety.
Yeah.
I have anxiety to go to Disneyland. I'm
that's a
anxious.
stress.
And it's a good stress.
It's releasing cortisol.
Right. But the bad anxiety is, oh man, I think I'm going to get fired. I'm worried about this. And, so
the majority of anxiety and all this kind of thing is serotonin imbalance. That's the big one.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's why all these SSRIs or whatever the hell they're called now. There's like tablets that you can take for it, which kind of takes that imbalance and tries to balance it out.
Is it serotonin?
It's serotonin. So these SSRIs, you get like sertraline, citalopram. There's various ones, and they're all different sort of like low to high dose kind of things. And they basically try to do that. They try to balance out your serotonin levels, because I think if your serotonin is high, it's actually a good feel. But if your serotonin drops, that's when you're into that depressive state. So like bipolar people, their serotonin levels are up and down like a yo-yo. So they need to try and sort of balance these out to try
and it's a
keep them at
drastic change, right?
It's
like
huge. With bipolar people, it's huge.
And it happens quick. It's not like a slow progression.
Royd says cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It's Wagyu saying SSRI is serotonin selective reuptake inhibitor. That's what it stands for.
Andy, I'm the same way. I really try to focus on doing that, and I try to get Lamont to focus on doing that. Like, not at the moment, can you do something to fix whatever this thing is, stressing you?
It's hard.
It is for me too. It's very hard.
And if you can't, then, don't stress over it until, you have a game plan or something for it.
Yeah.
But I try to do that a lot. And that helps with the serotonin and your cortisol levels and all of that.
What is the SSRI?
Awkward. What did Awkward Teeth say?
No, it was Wagyu said SSRI it's serotonin selective reuptake inhibitor. So it's basically a med that you take. It's just a small tablet. I've had them. I'm still on a mild dose for anxiety now. It's just it's a one called citalopram that I'm on now, and I just take one tiny little tablet a day, and it just keeps everything balanced out. They had me on sertraline when I was really bad at the peak of things that was going on with my daughter, and I couldn't do my music. I couldn't do anything. My entire life just felt numb. It was a very, very strange.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like I think what it does is to try and stop you from being. It wasn't like you were high or anything like that. It was like, because I was so antidepressants. I was like, nah, I'm not taking. And I went for so long trying not to do it. And then the doctor said, you're going to have to do this because you've had such a low slump now. We need to get you back out of this.
Yeah.
And that they put me on a tablet called sertraline, and it works for some people, but for me, my music, I couldn't do music because it was like it numbed my emotions. I was at funerals and I wouldn't get upset at a funeral. I was at weddings and it was just like.
It was like almost
it was just like
you were dead inside.
You just felt like you were a zombie.
Crazy.
You couldn't get overly excited or happy about anything, but you also didn't get that extreme low. So it did help get me out of that, but it was strange.
Oh,
and that's why I stopped them. I was just like, no. And then I went for about 9 months without anything, and then I had another slump again. And that's when I said, right, okay, I want to try this citalopram. Because a guy that I worked with offshore had tried this citalopram, and he says it's way better than the sertraline. So that's what I ended up doing.
Bicky is on something as well. It says it makes him numb and he doesn't like it. He thinks that's why he can't do music.
Is it sertraline that you're on, Bicky? Because if it is, ask your doctor to try you on citalopram, because it's very, very similar, but it doesn't numb you the way that sertraline does. Citalopram made him feel scared. Oh. See, it's funny because everyone seems to have a different effect with it. Every person's completely different. It must be a very hard thing to try and
figure out, right?
Mental health. It must be an absolute nightmare.
Has anyone ever tried? Go ahead.
Oh, I want Scotty to see the name of the one that Bicky's on.
Yeah, fluoxetine. Yeah. I've never heard of that one. Yeah, everyone does have a different brain, Bicky. Absolutely.
Is it safe to say now we can, at least in our confine, could we just classify stress now as a fucking disease? Like, can we?
I think so. I think they have. For it? I think they have been, and there, there's a chemical imbalance in the brain that makes you that way. So
anxiety is a disease. Brings us dis-ease, as the brother always says.
I don't know if they have already, but addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or any sort of addiction, they're classifying that as a disease as well, because it's a chemical imbalance within the individual.
Robbie's on it. Robbie's on medication for his anxiety.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy how. See, when you start speaking about this, is the thing that amazed me, because when I was then prescribed for the first time, I was so worried. I was worried about my job offshore because I thought, well, if people think I'm depressed, are they going to let me go out on an oil rig?
Right.
But when I spoke to the medic offshore, she was like, Scott, you would be shocked if you knew how many people offshore. There was like OIMs, like rig managers, the guy that's overall in charge that were on these. And she was like, do not stress, you will get offshore. You're not going to lose your job. But that was my biggest worry. But then when you started speaking to people, the amount of people that are on these meds now, because everyone's life's just too stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward T says, I think what is that drug? It's the famous Prozac.
Fluoxetine.
Is the famous Prozac?
Damn, I remember when Prozac was a fucking thing like that.
Oh, wait, no, I think Vicky did say Prozac.
Yeah, Prozac was a thing.
So were you ever on Prozac, Scotty, or no?
No. No, the only two that I've been on.
Vicky said Prozac,
The only two that I've been on is they gave me the sertraline at the start, which I'd done for about 18 months. And see, coming off that, oh my God, it was like brain zaps and all sorts of weird shit that was going on. Like if I looked to the left too quickly, it felt like somebody was electrocuting my brain. It was such a strange feel. It wasn't sore, but your vision, everything just go, and it would pass like in a matter of milliseconds, but it was so unsettling. But the doctor said, no, that's a common thing. It's because you're now reducing your dose, because you've got to really slowly taper them off. You can't just stop taking them.
Yeah. Robbie said his medication and the CBT has helped him a lot. I will suffer, but not as much. That's good.
Yeah, that is good, Robbie, because I've looked at that CBT, but I've never actually tried it. And maybe I should. Maybe I should try
what's
CBT.
CBT? Is that anything like CBD?
Cognitive behavioral therapy, it's called. So it's basically owning the problems that you've got and kind of working a way around how to deal with them. So if you've got triggers that make you really anxious, you then sort of, it's all this kind of, it's trying to retrain your brain basically not to react to these triggers. I think that Robbie will be able to tell you more if he's done it. But
are you guys in the UK able to have doses of psilocybin, micro doses of psilocybin?
Not that I know.
Probably not. Considering marijuana is
that's right.
So
they can't even
highly,
they can't even smoke marijuana out there. So Oregon, people
Vicky said no.
Oh, so soldiers in Oregon and other states that it's legal, man, they've been, I so want to try because they've been having great results with PTSD and anxiety with people with psilocybin. They microdose. You don't hallucinate. You don't have any of the trippiness, but it really seems to balance people. It's just the
smallest of amount, right? That they give them.
Balance. It just brings happiness to your life. It's crazy.
I think the biggest thing for me that's helped me, I do think the citalopram has helped me a lot, just to sort of cope when things were getting really bad. But actually removing the things that were causing it from my life and saying, look, I can't fix this. It's not for me to fix. And saying, I've got to look after me now. And then and I think that's quite a big thing. It's a difficult thing to do, especially when it's people that are so close to you. But but for your own, for my mental health's sake and for Shona's as well, because she was suffering with it all.
I bet.
It was just like, right, enough. We just have to step away and hopefully in time it'll fix. But if it doesn't, I'm not okay with it, but I'm not as stressed as I used to be about it.
Yeah,
it's just one of these things.
You're right on that though, Scotty. Like you really have to just protect yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she's been an absolute legend through it all. Because she didn't sign up to that. Because I was nothing like that when we first met. It was just over the past sort of 5 or 6 years.
Let me ask you this, Scotty. If the trigger is your daughter, do you think if your daughter came to you, sat down with you and said, okay, Dad, show me what I need to do to ease this on you, and she followed through with it, do you think that would take a large part of your anxiety away?
100%, yeah.
Damn.
And then my question, because we twins, and that's right where I was thinking, but he almost hit it what I was thinking, but he got close to it. Do you really not trust yourself, or are you that afraid of yourself Are you that afraid of yourself if you got off of those?
What, these tablets?
Yep.
Well, when I tried it before, because I thought, when I was on the sertraline at first for the sort of 18 months that I was on it, I came off it because I thought, you know what, these have done their job. I'm feeling okay. And for about 7 months, everything was tickety-boo. And I said to Sho, I think this is it. She said she noticed little things over that 6 or 7 months that she thought, whoa, he's maybe not quite right still. I didn't see it, but Shona's seen these little signs. Maybe me going quiet and not really speaking much and things. And she noticed it, I think, before I did. And then all of a sudden I had this massive slump again. So it was back to the doctor again, saying, look, I don't know what it was. Even when I was offshore, people would be speaking to me, like just like we're talking now. And then all of a sudden I would just get this, it was like someone had just told me that my mother had died. And my heart absolutely just sunk into my stomach for no reason. And I'd be staring at people and I would see that they're talking to me, but none of the words were going in. And I would actually have to get up out my office and say, give me a minute. And I would go. And people knew offshore because I had to explain what was going on. And then I could kind of walk about and calm myself down and it would pass. But that became more and more and it would happen more and more often. And it was pretty scary.
So you think
you know that sinking feeling you get when you get that somebody
Oh,
tells
yeah.
you really bad news.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it just appears from nowhere.
So it's out of your control.
I had
is what
that.
you're
I
saying.
had that issue for a long time.
Yeah.
Horrible feeling, Lamont. Eh?
It is
horrible.
Yeah.
I still get it when I think about my daughter.
Yeah, that sinking
Yeah.
doom and gloom. I have that. Did you want me to show that video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have to pause it every 2 minutes and talk about it, and then that's a review.
All right, hang on.
But I'm going to show you guys something because it led to Lamar, and Doommonger said, yes, it is legal.
Oh, psilocybin is legal in the UK?
No, I thought they said, Doommonger said no, it's illegal.
It's illegal.
illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no.
I misread that.
Okay. Here, let me.
Kent said they had him on some bullshit trying to kill him.
I think he was trying to end me. What the
Haloperidol.
hell are you talking about, Kent? The doctor tried to end you?
Yeah, some haloperidol was the medication.
Yeah, some medication wasn't good for him. All right, here we go.
Is microdosing just a word to say I'm doing drugs? I love that question. First of all, I don't consider psychedelics to be drugs. Drugs are, and a lot of people say all things are drugs. Sugar's a drug, coffee's a drug, alcohol's a drug. So drug in the negative connotation, I think is a changing definition. So no, microdosing is an intentional practice, I think, that should be used for healing, and that is the intent.
What I like to say is it kind of makes you 10% of something, 10% happier, 10% more patient, 10% more creative, 10% more open.
The thing about microdosing that's so interesting and hard, I think, for Western culture to wrap our brains around is that it's not medicine you get from Walgreens in a little bottle. There's no real right or wrong way to do it, except that, in my opinion, just swallowing down a capsule and thinking it's going to change your life is absolutely the wrong way. It does require work.
For me,
Okay, why haven't they let this out into the public, you guys think? Go ahead and take your time and think about it. We have to just do a little intermission in between.
Yeah. For me, Big Pharma, Big Pharma controls
for
everything.
Sure.
And if you're
sure.
what did you always say? If you're curing people, you're out of fucking business.
So my sister went to so my younger sister is a doctor. She went to medical school in New York, and day one, the teacher goes, cured patient is money lost.
Simple.
Damn, hit play.
Hang on, I have to put it back.
Yeah.
the way that microdosing is different is that it still allows me to be fully present in the things that I'm experiencing. So I still have really high highs and I still have really low lows. The difference though is that I feel that I am able to handle them and navigate them a little bit differently and more effectively in ways that are healthy.
Microdosing is taking around 1/10 of a large dose. And a large dose is what people traditionally use, especially in original cultures and ancient, for a journey, which is where you do kind of go into the multiverse and talk to God and see things. And that's very powerful too. And a microdose takes that and distills it down to a tiny, tiny subperceptual amount of psilocybin so that you can fully function day to day. You can drive, you can be with your children, you can go to work, all the things. What you're noticing is that your negative patterns are starting to change. With microdosing, number one thing that people need to know is that it doesn't really make you feel anything. Again, you're not hallucinating. It's not the 60s trip that everyone is afraid of. You're not going to jump off a building, and you're not frying your brain like an egg.
And even as a musician, it helps with creativity and leveling you up. It helps, really take sometimes like a spin of, maybe a trajectory of how I'm feeling. Maybe it's negative, depressive, or just, antisocial. And then, I'll microdose and I'm like, and then I'll go on a hike and I'll feel way more connected with nature.
And it also allowed me to be more present with my children because I'm able to be more patient. It allows me to be more creative and an open communicator in my job.
See, and these are normal people we're talking about here.
And I'm kind of with Bicky on this. Like, Bicky's like, this is hard to watch. It is hard to watch because if you're sitting here looking at a possible cure that the government can be prescribing people, that big pharma can be prescribing people, that doesn't come with small print that someone's reading super fast, and you hear the word death and headaches and more stress involved in those words, then like, what are we doing?
Yeah. We can't, the big pharma can't afford cured patients.
No.
They really can't.
And especially something that comes from the wild and not manufactured from chemicals that they control and everything else, because
like this would help
a shed load of money out of that.
So many people with ADD and ADHD,
And
like
PTSD.
instead of giving them what was that, Adderall?
Right.
Remember?
Because my son is on Adderall.
Yeah,
And he's autistic.
It does,
and it does worse
crazy
for him.
things.
I even asked him.
them.
I said, "Does this help you?" He goes, "It just makes me tired. It doesn't really help."
And it doesn't. Well, he said it didn't make him feel
good. It gave him jitters.
Yeah.
And your heart goes, and that's that sinking feeling I'm talking about too, Scotty. Like, when you know you can't help your kid, and
the best thing with psilocybin is it has a lot of
medicinal
trials.
property.
No, I mean like the trials and studies,
right?
Like the participants that took place in all of this. I mean, it's huge,
right?
And for the fact that it does work. And like she said, the stigma of when someone says psilocybin, it's a little bit more friendly. But if I were to tell you magic mushrooms, you instantly think the 60s, the trip. And she like, I'm glad.
Yeah, they always think of the bad thing about
shit.
it, right? Yeah.
And I'm glad she killed that stigma.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not doing that. This is just making you feel better.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and finish the video.
And it frankly has been something that's allowed me to show up in my relationships in a more authentic way because I'm not so anxious all the time. And so microdosing has really fundamentally changed how I move in the world and navigate relationships from my children all the way to my professional colleagues.
I felt a calm and a space between my words that I hadn't felt before. And slowly over time, because psilocybin helps rework your neural pathways, I started to just change a lot of bad habits, a lot of repeating habits, and just kind of came into myself.
Interestingly enough, most people that I talk to about microdosing, they ask a whole lot of questions, they have a lot of curiosities, and 9 times out of 10, they're calling me up saying, how do I get it?
Microdosing is what brings you, in the same way that you take an antidepressant, that's what microdosing is. It's not doing drugs because you're not feeling, your perception isn't changing. You're not feeling a difference in how you show up in the world, like, again, like tripping. So no, I don't think it's doing drugs at all. I think it's healing.
Yeah. That's just so
That's
sad.
a good way to end that. I think it's healing.
Yeah.
And it's natural.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the whole key. And what is it? Sophie said, I mean, we're having to learn this through the media, like of all people.
Yeah.
CBS is giving us this.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, why is this not in the public? It's like,
But it's like how she said in the beginning. It's for everything. Everything can be an addiction,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be like drugs or alcohol, like she was saying.
I want to find out how do we find any information on why Big Pharma is not entertaining this?
Because it's money. It's money lost.
But like, why? But like, so there has to be, like, they have to bring it to like Johnson and Johnson and say, like, everybody that comes up with the med, a doctor or some sort of scientist, like how we get our medication, they have to clear this red tape in order for the trials for the med to get out. I want to know, did anybody ever bring forth psilocybin?
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah, and I want to know,
trials?
and I want to know what their legal answer on paper was.
Right.
I'm sure they're like, oh no, it's too addictive. That's probably what their
Even if they did the trials and say, look, it's non-habit forming, it's non-this, just like the fucking ambient guy that went before me, he's killing people. I'm telling you, I've got 0 murder, death, kills, and everyone is not addicted to it. They're addicted to happiness and feeling better.
Like Vicky said, it fixes the problem. You don't need it forever.
Yeah, and what Roy's saying there as well, he says there's no profit in it. Everyone is well aware of the source, and it is not patentable. So that's
and that's the thing. It's money.
Yeah,
right.
Big Pharma will lose money.
I just want to know what their legal answer was on why they didn't. I know what they're about.
It'd be like
I gotta see what they returned.
Yeah. Like what exactly they said.
They will use, we've not had enough case studies. We've not done this. We've not done that.
Yeah, but
but then what do they do with the COVID jab? It's just like, well, okay, we've fixed this in 3 months. There you go. Just take this shot in your arm and hope
but
for the
ambient and the Prozac guy, they didn't do their studies for them. They brought those studies to them.
Yeah. I used to read these articles, and then the wife sat me down one day when we were back living in Washington. And I go, look at this article. And she goes, yeah, I read it. Okay. And I go, isn't that phenomenal? And she goes, hang on. Now we're going to look at who published the article. And then she takes me on this wild fucking ride, Scotty, on who published the article. And it's like some government thing that...
And who backed up whatever study was written in that article.
And they're like in favor for cigarettes and alcohol. And it's just like... I wondered to myself, how many people go and look at who published the fucking article saying this is not good for you? Because when you find these articles and you find who publishes things that saying, oh, like this is great for you, it makes a world of a difference. It makes it so whatever you're reading and consuming, there's some weight to it.
Yeah, you always, now when he reads stuff or I read stuff, I always see who's behind it.
Who's behind the article?
Who put the money?
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Steve. Who put the money to do whatever research and testing that they're talking about, and 3, who wrote the article? Who was behind all of this, and what do they gain
right
by putting that out?
Right.
Because they're always going to gain something from it.
And then you could tell who's the real journalist,
who are the real doctors,
and who's the journalist that is being paid to put out something. Because they leave a trail. They leave a trail of going back and forth a lot, or they leave a trail of being bought out. Like if you look at Andrew Cuomo, who used to work for CNN, he was a hardcore liberal. Now he ain't a hardcore liberal no more.
Yeah, that was
now
hilarious.
He's like something else, and he's deep diving in aliens. It's like you can obviously see these people have been paid and bought for to just give us a bunch of bullshit, and they want us to digest it.
Yeah,
I'm tired of digesting this shit.
We have a very renowned doctors, Rick Strassman, who put his whole life into studying DMT, and the guy actually did his own product, you know. He only needed to do it once to find his answers. He took DMT once. He had a real profound experience that will always stay with him.
And now they run studies.
And now they run studies.
And they're helping people.
And it's just wild to me. it's wild that we have the answers to so many things naturally, and we'll throw ourselves to shit.
Right.
Feed ourselves to the wolves.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I guess the thing that's always going to amaze me is how we as people just keep accepting it. You know, we just don't fight back. We don't seek justice. And what ends up happening is you have to rearrange your entire life. And if you want to seek out these medicinal things, you'd have to move to a different state. Like I read an article, there was a woman or there was a couple who had a kid, their daughter had epilepsy, very bad. They lived in, at the time, they lived in New Jersey. And New Jersey didn't recognize medicinal marijuana. And holistic doctor told them, you should try putting your daughter on such and such dose of THC, and gave them the exact dose of which strand to put the girl on. They did that. It worked flawlessly. And the only contraindication was she had a expansive appetite.
Right.
So they fought with the state of New Jersey. Look, they even went to doctors and proved it to them. They almost got arrested for one, giving their underage daughter marijuana.
And this is probably like 15 years ago.
Two, bringing it into the state.
Yep.
So they said, you know what? We've proved to you guys it helps her. It helped her so much that she can look at bright colors and not have a seizure. So they said, fuck it. They sold their home. They moved to Colorado. They put her in school. For the first time, she was able to stay in school unsupervised on her marijuana dose. To the day, she still has not had a seizure or dealt with epilepsy. Now, those are the measures we have to take as humans. But not all of us can just stop what we're doing,
pick up and move,
quit our fucking jobs, and go right now. Which country do I have to go to better my mental health? Because that sounds fucking bonkers to do that.
It's bullshit, really, that you have to do that.
There was a movie.
It's just nonsense.
It's nonsense.
There was a movie, or unless you become a radical, right? Like this movie with Denzel Washington back in the day. His wife was in the hospital, and the hospital wouldn't do anything because she didn't have like the right insurance or something that was like just total fucking nonsense. And so what does Denzel, the husband, do? He loses his fucking shit. He goes bananas. He holds people hostage. And he's like, no, you're going to take care of her. She's a human being. You guys remember this movie by any chance? I forgot the name of it, but it was really good. It showed.
I think it was a true story.
It was, and it showed what the medical field, and it showed what big pharma, and it showed how healthcare is just fucking wrong.
Ran by money, not for people. They could care. They could give a fuck all about your health. In all honesty, I know some doctors actually care. But I would say, again, 95% of them are only there to drive the drugs Big Pharma wants out on the streets. You know how many marketers go into a doctor's office every day with drugs, pushing them? Hey, do you have any patients suffering from this? Can we do a study? Can you just push this on them?
Giving free samples out.
Free samples.
Here's the free sample of this shit that might kill them.
I just don't know when I don't think it'll ever stop. I think we've gotten so far now. We're just going to have to seek help elsewhere.
Vicky's got a point too. Are we that weak though, mentally, to where we cannot help ourselves? Has it come to the point now we're dependent on Western medication,
Right.
the white dope?
I think sometimes it's I don't want to say that I don't want to say it over this air because YouTube. So never mind. I'm going to retract that comment before I even redact. My mother was on, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, finish it.
My mother was on death's door when her oncologist refused to treat her. I keep getting these icons
anymore after nearly killing her. I started treating her and she lived another 2 years.
Look at that.
That's insane.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's crazy. So I had to run into the house real quick to go potty.
Mhm.
I drank like 2 of those dang things of water. But coming back, those little robins,
Oh, I
both
saw
of them. Have you seen them?
I saw them. They fly around these
They
front
keep
trees.
they,
right
they
here.
keep like kind of chasing each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And then they'll go into the tree and do whatever chirping that they do, and then they'll start doing it again. Apparently that's them mating. Like that's their like.
They're doing
mating.
that again.
Yeah,
so,
they
so
were
I've seen
just
it.
out. Yep.
Yeah, so I watched them then today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so beautiful. The
Bright
the
red.
red is so vibrant, and
Are they robins or cardinals?
I think those are robins.
Okay.
Because they're not as big as the cardinals. Yeah.
Does the male have a yellow beak?
They fly by so fast.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
we saw them today.
they were out there again,
Yeah.
just flying.
Yeah, we saw them today. They were out there for a minute and they were going back and forth.
Yep, that's so cool to see that. I just
like
love
spring.
when
the
the birds
transition.
come back and they're nesting again at that light when you leave the garage to go out in the patio.
Mm-hmm.
They have a big
Big
huge
nest.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're so brave, and they're not. It's almost like the birds know who you are because they're like, well, we've been here the last 5 years. They haven't fucked with us now.
Certain
so.
species go back where
Yeah.
they nested. They constantly go back to the same one.
Yeah.
So the tree in front of your bathroom will have a nest.
I've been waiting. They haven't started yet, but I've been waiting.
And then the tree, right when we walk out of our front door on the left, they nest in there as well.
Yep.
Wagyu says, my mom got put on epilepsy drugs after she had some fits going on through her horrible period in life, miscarriage. And she was stuck on that old 1960s epilepsy drug for 20 years.
Wow.
Wow.
20 years. And it seemed like the drug was causing the fits rather than her actually having epilepsy.
And that's a failure of poor diagnosis and studying their patient.
So she gradually tried coming off it, but doing that killed her because she was probably addicted to the drug.
It's the chemical. It changes the chemical structure of, your brain. That's crazy, Wagyu. And then doctors, do what, say what, and that's the scary thing about doctors too is one, they're always practicing it, right? So they're always practicing their craft, and then two, we don't know if that specific doctor that we're going to barely passed school.
Right.
Right? Because there's a certain percentage you have to have, like, I'm just hypothesizing here, but like 78%. So, and that will pass you. What if this one doctor was like 70% the whole time, and then finally at the end he gets it. Like, we don't know what type of doctor we get because
and how
we
much
don't
effort
ask
they
them,
put into being a doctor
for their grades. Did you do good? Were you in the 90th percentile
Percentile,
of your,
It's just
we
a
don't
paycheck.
know.
Or did you just
Yeah.
pass and you want
Or
a paycheck?
are you just barely?
You're just here to prescribe drugs.
I'm going to go to a doctor's office, hold ground there, read my book of what I think it should be, prescribe a drug, get a paycheck.
And make it subjective to
Right.
me.
And I feel like the first doctor who we went to for the pain management on my back was that doctor who really didn't care and was just there. It was a conveyor belt of patients.
He absolutely was that doctor.
Yep, just to get his page. Like, he really wasn't like focused in on the patient, listen to the patient. What's going on? What's wrong? we'll just do this. We'll just do that. We'll do this surgery. We'll do this procedure. And it was just like, but you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Right.
And then he goes and kills 2 nerves in my back that he never had to do an ablation on.
Right. Which is wild to me. Like, we still need to do something about that.
Yeah. So was that doctor in the 70th percentile in school? Like, that's so crazy to me. We don't.
And sometimes they could be the 90%.
Right. And just don't care anymore.
Don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah. Roy Droid. That's spot on. Wait, hang on.
Which one? The science and
Awkward T said it makes you wonder who isn't on some meds these days. But
yeah.
Roy Droid Void.
Who should be on some meds?
Right.
Yeah.
Science and scientific advancements are completely different from medical practice. Doctors go to school once. Science continues well beyond their education.
Mm-hmm. And that's so scary too. Yeah, Biggie said some doctors care, some are in it for the money.
Doctors still have human faults.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll that other clip.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
That's why they matched up, and I'll try to get that today since we're here. They matched up AI doctor by itself. Then they matched up the AI doctor with a doctor, and it had results. Then they just matched up just the doctor by himself. And would you believe the AI doctor blew the doctor by? He was well read. He was a great doctor. AI like blew him out of the water. It showed him everything he missed. And the doctor said, I would not have been able to catch that, not with how many patients I have to see a day.
Yeah.
And it was important things. And the doctor was just like, he felt so horrible that he missed it. And he was like, it's made a case for itself. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
When I released my microdosing storytime video, I had no idea that it was going to receive the attention and curiosity that it did. Since the time of that video's release, which by the way, you can click somewhere here to go watch it if you haven't seen it yet, I've received a number of questions from you guys in the comment section and also in my DMs about microdosing psilocybin. So today I thought I would just take the time to answer frequently asked questions about microdosing, and we're just going to roll through them one by one. Before I begin though, as usual, a disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. I'm not an expert. So consider the contents of this video to be peer-to-peer. Consider me your friend. I've had experience with microdosing and I'm just sharing with you my personal experiences. Also, if you're under 19, please click away. I don't want to be sued or anything.
That's what it's going to come down to in life. It's going to come down to, do we trust our fellow humans? Because look what trusting the government does for us. Go ahead.
Damn.
This is probably the most frequently asked question that I get about microdosing is, how do I do it? And the way that I do it is in capsule form. So I know that certain people like to just buy magic mushrooms dried and then they portion it out themselves and they'll microdose various different ways. I personally prefer doing it this way because I don't like the taste of magic mushrooms. And this way, it's a lot easier and more convenient for me to know exactly how much I'm getting. So one of these caps actually is portioned for the average microdose, which we can get into a little bit later. One of these caps is 120 milligrams of magic mushrooms. And I think that's a standard microdose amount. The first time I took it though, I did get a little bit high, but I'm gonna save my first time experience for a future question. These days, usually it's recommended that when you first start, you take a cap, and then you take a couple days off, and then you take a cap, and then you take a couple days off. And it's important to do this so that your tolerance doesn't develop too quickly. For me, my ideal microdosing schedule now is 1 cap every 2 to 3 days.
I didn't realize that those lasted so long.
A minute.
I like how they say gradually take these too. And
right.
She's probably never had a drug in her life from what it sounds like. And of course, she's going to get some residual effect of a euphoric or a high feeling from this.
Right.
But everyone's going to vary too.
Yeah.
The whole point of microdosing is to take such a small amount that you're not supposed to notice the effects of being on magic mushrooms. When you're on a microdose, really what it feels like is your mind feels more open. Like I said before, the first time I took one of these caps, I did get high because I just, that was just my response to a typical microdose, the one that was portioned out to me. And that could be because I am a smaller framed woman compared to being a 200-pound man. Usually 6 hours. So emotional side effects are very positive, which is why I microdosed to begin with. It takes my regular baseline mood and lifts it up, and I'm left with this overall feeling like I can just handle the everyday stressors that come. There have been some times when I've accidentally taken too much and I am straight up feeling the effects of being high, and so those can carry more noticeable side effects. So physically, in the past, I've noticed muscle tension, muscle cramps. I've noticed heart palpitations. My heart will start to beat a little bit too fast. And emotionally, not every, psilocybin trip is gonna feel like the best time of your life. Sometimes you will be confronted with the things that were originally stressing you out, but now it's like you're noticing.
See, and even then, the drug tells you have to have some form of fucking stress in your life. Like you can't be completely happy every day. You have to have balance.
But it's going to force you to sit there and diagnose yourself and come to terms with certain things in your life that you're struggling with. Right. It's going to be a therapist for you.
Yeah, It'll shaman its way right into your life.
Them at full force. So that's what we would call a bad trip. But I have come to learn that there really is no such thing as a bad mushroom experience. When you have an undesirable trip, then lean into that experience, because you'll often walk away from it learning something insightful about yourself. So this one, and I wish I had pulled up studies on this. If I find the link, I'll provide it in the description box below. There was a study that was done that shows that magic mushrooms are the least toxic substance. And I remember distinctly in a presentation one time seeing that alcohol was here and psilocybin was here. Alcohol was 52 times more addictive and more toxic than magic mushrooms.
That is
wild. Proves my point. I have no addicted people here, but your fucking Coors Light guy has the.
So you can see where the money is.
Yeah. Like we've been saying, it's, it'll cure people.
I'm glad
we can't have that.
We need accidents. We need hospital bills. We need lawyers to stay employed. We need police to keep arresting drunk drivers.
We need very unhealthy people. We need people with
liver
diabetes and
obesity.
Obesity.
We need to keep the population down.
Yeah.
God.
There was a study,
population control too.
There was a study done. I forget how many kids. It was like 1 out of every 5 kids or something like that. Children in grade school are on diabetic medication.
That's retarded.
Children.
And that's more of an American thing, isn't it?
Single digits of age.
Yeah, that's an American thing for sure.
They're on diabetic medication.
Culture of obesity, gluttony, and greed.
That's insane.
Sorry, not addictive, but definitely more toxic. 52 times more toxic. It shouldn't, but if it's your first time doing it, I wouldn't recommend scheduling it on a day where you have a lot of big commitments or you have to be on the road a lot, because you don't know how your body is going to react to that first dose. Do it on a day where you don't have a ton of big commitments, and just be open-minded. I would also recommend taking your dose earlier in the morning, because One thing that I've noticed sometimes when I take my caps too late into the evening, I'll just find it very difficult to fall asleep that night. But I know different people have different reactions, which is why you have to plan accordingly and give yourself ample space your first time. It'll be either a very fun trip for you or a not so fun one, but everything will come to pass, and there is no such thing as a bad trip when it comes to the things that you learn and gain from it at the end of the day. I've had experiences where I've taken too much, or maybe, for example, in the beginning, I really questioned whether I should be taking time off in between, because I was like, this is awesome. I love feeling like that. So I started taking caps every single day, and I quickly built a really high tolerance. So then I started just taking more. That wasn't a good idea because it led to a couple of experiences where I was like, okay, I really want this to end and I should be working right now, but instead I am kind of freaking out a little bit. I take full ownership of those experiences. It was a learning curve, and now I know what my happy medium is.
Yes, like this is a commercial we should be watching on TV. Dalsophy hits it dead on.
What did Dalsophy say?
The way she's couching it, coaching it lends to the authenticity of her experience. Like, I believe her over a fucking commercial about Barbexaball or whatever the fuck they come out with.
Geez, what was our drug that we
Sorfinol.
Like Sorfinol.
I wish you would go back doing our commercials.
Yeah, I have to load them up in here and figure out how to do it on Streamyard.
Goddamn, I would love to take some. Sorfinol sounds like psilocybin.
Right?
It's exactly what it is.
But it's like, for me, what gets me every time when we see those commercials is the side effects.
Yeah, bleeding asshole, death, eyeball
or they
busted.
give you the exact thing you're dealing with.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
nutbag erosion.
I always go back to that one medication for women who are in menopause or premenopause and are having hot flashes, right? So supposedly this medication helps with it, and then you see the commercial, and one of the side effects is possible hot flashes.
Yeah. So
why the fuck am I going to take a medication that's going to give me more of something that I don't want?
Sucker.
And I'm like, that's insane.
What did Crumb say? Philobarbadol.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Taus of his as well. Barbexaball for chronically sore scrotums.
There you go.
Shit.
All right, here we go.
I wouldn't recommend it. I have friends now who are on antidepressants and they take psilocybin and they have had no issues. Although this is something that I don't feel comfortable dishing out advice on. I'm just simply sharing that there have been people who have had no issues mixing certain substances together. And for me, I microdose for medicinal purposes. So I'm not drinking, I'm not doing other drugs. It is purely medicinal. You can prevent tolerance buildup by sticking to a regulated schedule and not letting your microdosing get a little bit too out of hand, like the experience that I previously described. If you do end up building a high tolerance though, I've heard that if you take a week off, you restore your tolerance by 80%. And I would say from anecdotal experience, this is true. Before I wrap up, I want to bring up a point that I forgot to mention earlier. Magic mushrooms aren't addictive in the way that some antidepressants or cocaine, heroin, and hard drugs are, because when you stop taking mushrooms, you don't experience withdrawal effects. So it's not a chemical addiction. And I would say that if you decide like this is working really well for me and you continue to incorporate it into your life, that's not necessarily a matter of addiction. It's just you found something that works and you have made a choice to continue to integrate it into your life, like I have. Yeah, and I think that's it. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. If there was something that I missed, please.
That's...
See?
I'd much rather take info from people like that than
these bullshit ass
than the
commercials.
spineless
The
people that
commercials.
don't even show their fucking
They don't even show
true
their face.
nature,
Well,
their
it's like,
face,
okay, so
their facilities and how they orchestrate
yeah,
things.
what she said brought me back to what Scotty was mentioning earlier with that one medication that he was on, and then he had to slowly come off of it. Right, you just can't smack dab just stop, because it'll make you worse, or it could possibly kill you. With the magic mushrooms, you can get off of it, and you're not going to have that crazy withdrawal from it.
Right.
You don't
just
have
come
to
off of it.
Yeah, you just come off of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it that week, don't do it.
That's fucking
Done.
crazy.
And it's probably because it's a natural substance.
Well, it's the same with weed too. The
You're
withdrawal is your ass want to eat Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when it's done, it's done.
It's over.
You're-
Take your ass to bed.
You're totally fine.
Yeah, go to sleep.
You don't feel like that like you need it.
And I wish the Western medication people would just say it. This medication is known to kill a bitch. You try it, but this shit
Pretty
will
much.
kill a bitch.
Cold. We've seen it, but it has to hit the market today. And then that leads me to believe the FDA is highly suspect when it comes to companies getting their drugs on the market. Like, have they been infiltrated? Is the FDA really looking out for the people's benefit? Can you pay someone off in the FDA?
Oh, frick yeah.
Mm.
Can you pay someone
in
off
anything.
to get a drug out?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's the American way.
Yep.
I think it's
It's
the
the only
only
way.
way.
Yeah.
It's the world's way.
It was funny. I was watching the document. I love watching documentaries. I was watching a documentary. I forget what it's called, but it was about the food industry. And what you said, Lamont, reminded me of that, of paying people off and certain like FDAs. What do you do? And what does this department does? So in this documentary I saw, who are the people that go and test the foods to make sure?
The FDA.
Is it the FDA? I thought there was another like branch underneath that. Like
No, it's the
dairy
FDA.
has one, and
No,
then like
it's
meat
all under-
has.
it's all
the
under
Food
the
and
FDA
Drug Administration. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
but they're like there's different. I know there's different
I'm
departments.
sure there's different departments, but it's
Yeah.
The umbrella
okay.
is the FDA.
Yeah.
So there, it was poultry. It was a poultry company, and
Studio 8 Effects, help us out because I know this
Yeah.
is your field too.
Yep.
Or Dalsify said the USDA.
USDA. Yeah. So they interviewed these people about who regulates what, right? And so there's different tiers. And they were asking them, well, do you check on this? And they're like, we haven't been told by the FDA to do that. And then they're like, okay, who's taking care of that? That's not my department. It's the FDA's.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's making sure that, X, Y, and Z diseases aren't in these animals? Well, that's not our department. You'll have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Pass the buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody takes any ownership.
No.
For anything.
No.
Well, we put the mandates and guidelines out for the agricultural and farmers to adhere by, but as far as when it comes there and then where it goes there, you're gonna have to ask the FDA.
It's insane.
Anybody but me, motherfucker.
Yeah, they almost sounded like they didn't even know what their job was.
Yeah.
And that was scary. And these are the people who are supposed to be making sure our food is good.
Right.
And I think maybe something is happening within the FDA, the USDA, because we're having so many more recalls.
Mm-hmm.
It seems
Right,
like
like-
every week is a fucking recall.
Yeah. But what about the
something.
ones they miss and don't recall?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we've eaten
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I don't know why we haven't succumbed to or have gotten ill, but we've continued to eat these bad products.
Yeah. Chrome put the damn phone number.
I
down
saw
there.
that.
Yeah,
Keith,
that's often.
Keith, what's wrong with you? What happened to you? Are you in a...
He posted today on his Facebook that he's been in hospital for 5 hours now and
What?
counting because it was a suspected false widow spider bite on the bottom of his leg, but it looked fucking painful.
Mhm.
Wait, what kind of spider?
A false widow spider bite.
Oh.
I've never heard of a
False
false
widow.
widow.
Like a
He-
brown
Pull that
recluse or
up.
something.
False widow. Leg looks like 2 bites from False
widow spider, yeah.
I gotta see what this is.
Yeah, it didn't look nice. It looked bloody sore.
And he posted the picture on Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah, today.
Yeah, out here, well, not so much as Indiana, but in Missouri and shit, the brown recluse is like notorious.
Dalsify said, look how off killer the food pyramid was back in the day.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
What was called a balanced
breakfast.
breakfast.
My God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that documentary went over that. It's
Shit.
crazy. Look at that's the spider.
What are we looking at here? What is that? Can you just pick one of them and blow it up?
Yeah.
And we all just know that Lamont and Lamar would be sprinting across the garden.
You wouldn't find me, Scotty.
You have no
Scotty,
idea.
find me.
Have not,
You would
have
just
no-
see headphones hovering in midair
Oh, it didn't.
because we ghost the shit out of here.
Hang on. Let's share this.
It ain't no
Let's,
secret. Twins don't do fucking insects, especially spiders.
They
and
would
bats.
They would magically just grow wings and just fly away really fast. Look at how it.
Awkward Teeth and
No, thank
Hair
you.
Productions. How did you find our channel?
And what's up with
Welcome
your,
into Monkey Island.
You got to explain your name.
Explain that moniker.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when we did the jams, that would have been, we would have had to pick
Keith
something.
said, I think you stand a better chance of seeing a Black Widow than you
What?
would this. Wow.
Leave it to Keith to find the rarest fucking thing out there.
Right?
I'm glad you went to the ER though. I was
Yeah.
bit by a spider too, and that was not a fun
Oh,
experience.
Wagyu said he invited Awkward Teeth and Hair.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Wagyu, did you properly warn this guy that what he was walking into on Monkey Island?
Or her.
Knowing Wagyu, he said, just come over here, and left all the fucking context
Pertinent
out.
details out. Yeah, just
Yeah.
do me a favor. Stick your hand in this box.
Just come over.
Come see where I hang
Well,
out, sir.
I think most people go, "Oh, have you seen the S.O.R live?" And they're like, "Oh no, what is it about?" And they'll probably be like, "You just got to go and experience it yourself."
It's all kind of
There's
politically.
a little
literally
everything.
It's
no
all-
description.
Yeah, it's all politically incorrect. There's a Scottish black Jesus. There's
He's red Jesus right now
Yeah.
well, he's a red Jesus. He alternates.
Mhm.
with the heart shaped hair patch on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely see.
See, look, there it is.
I could definitely see Wagyu going, just come over here.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's
You'll be
I
good.
should start using that when I'm in a bar. Do you want to see my coochie?
You want to see my
There you
coochie?
go.
Just
There you
slightly look down, and they'll be like, oh, right, I get
Oh,
it.
right.
Go. Did you show?
Yeah, she was getting her kill. She was killing herself laughing. I said Lamont was calling me. What was it you were calling me last night?
Oh, twat, was it
Twat head.
twat head? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Wadhead.
There he goes, old twat head.
Maxi pad.
Maxi
Yeah,
pad
maxi pad fight.
Yeah. He got into a maxi pad fight.
Well, shoot, this was a great podcast. I hope Drew Solo is okay
Yeah.
and is free.
And shit, get better, Keith.
And Keith, yeah.
and,
hopefully you get out of the hospital
and
soon.
Mrs. Dr. Simf too, Manny's
Yeah,
wife.
Manny's
Yeah.
wife.
Get well too. Hopefully tomorrow. I reached out to Dallas.
I think they're going to see his mother or
Oh,
something.
that's right. Never mind. So we
So-
probably won't stay on long tomorrow.
Yeah. If anybody wants
'cause
to
it's
do an
Mother's-
interview
it's Mother's
tomorrow,
Day.
it's Mother's,
Mother's
Day.
Day.
but
Yeah.
Anyone want to do a quick hour interview? Maybe an
Mhm.
hour and a half?
Yeah. Let us know.
Let us know.
If you're not in our Discord and you would like to be in our Discord, Uncle Chrome or Scotty, if you can put my email in there, email me and I'll send you a link to our Discord. Lots more shenanigans, and
Yeah.
if you go there, don't go into only Sam's. If you do, I warned
You
you.
value your life and your soul.
You're bad.
So wait, I'm being treated for cellulitis due
Yeah,
to the infection.
infection.
Yeah, breaking
Yep.
down the
Wow.
skin.
Yep.
That's what they do. They put that toxin in you.
I had the
Oh.
same thing when I had to go to the ER.
Yeah.
They treated me for that as
Yep.
well.
Jeez.
Yep. I could have just had the right arm if I had not gone to that
Mhm.
ER.
Mm.
The doctor said if you would have
Yeah.
waited even an hour more, I wouldn't be treating your arm
I'd be amputating.
You'd be
bitch.
going into surgery right now to remove your arm.
God damn.
Yeah. He's like, you are really lucky you came in when you did. And then that's when he asked me, how come you didn't come in sooner? I was like, I was waiting for it to get worse. And then he looked at my arm and was like, how much more worse is this going to get?
Shit.
A little
Yeah.
spider.
See, if
Was it
you'd
a
lost
recluse?
If,
Yeah.
if they had to remove it, people said, is Marlon dangerous? We could all say, no, she's harmless.
Yeah, she's armless.
Well, Scott, I think she's gonna let Show know to whoop your fucking face. She's gonna go
I'll let this one slide.
go
It was
smack
pretty
Scott
funny.
on his twat,
It
would
was
you?
pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on his coochie patch.
On his coochie patch.
It's maxi pad.
Oh, there it went.
Yeah, see, I smacked it and the camera took a stiffy.
Yeah.
So, whoa, what was that?
Hi-oh.
All right. Well,
Catch you guys tomorrow.
it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Take care all.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're hungry and
we'll
tired.
post it up. We'll post
Yeah.
it early. Hopefully, we can so you give you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for stepping in.
Yeah. Great,
Checking the
great
show out.
conversation
Today
today.
is 202.
202.
Shit, we're almost there, people.
Almost.
Just when you think you can't do anymore, guess what?
You got more in you.
Yeah.
Twat face comes in here and helps you
Yeah.
through another day.
Is Scotty?
Droid Void came up with a good name for this. You know, would name the streams.
Huh.
Just call it Drugs and Bugs.
Drugs,
Drugs and bugs. I can change it.
Change
I can
it.
go back and edit
Change
it.
it.
Drugs and bugs.
Drugs and bugs.
I like that.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
because we
That
all
was-
know that what the stream was then.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Right.
clever. That was really
Drugs
clever.
and bugs.
Yep, I'll change it as soon as we get off. And then Scotty, you and I got to chat about
when the guys are away.
yeah. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
How are we gonna do it? And
Well, I think you just need to sit on a synth and we'll just jam.
yeah, okay. It'll sound like complete trash.
Well, you don't know until
Wait,
you try.
Oh, I don't
and-
believe that.
And I was thinking too, what's cool is depending on when we do the streams and depending on what the twins are doing in California, I can send them a link to the Streamyard and they can hop in real quick to say hi.
Oh yeah, we could.
that would be
So-
Our mother and father would be there, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could get them on and fuck with them, and
I was like, oh, we can
I
totally
could probably
do
stream
that.
some of the my son's graduation,
Mm-hmm.
which I just found out yesterday. He wants to go to the armed services, so I'm
Very
in
good.
I'm in full support of that.
Which military?
I just
Yeah.
don't know which branch
Hopefully
he
the
wants to
Navy.
go in. I told him Marines.
He's too tall for that. He get his head lopped off.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but we'll see.
Navy would be
What
good
is
for
he,
the
a
Navy too.
sniper's dream? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. The guy plays a lot
He's
of video.
6'8".
He plays a lot of video
Jesus.
games, so
He's 6'8".
he's 6'8".
6'8".
He ain't that tall yet.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
That's what Mom said.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean,
We're gonna find out.
Yeah. Find out.
You get off the plane and you're
And
like,
you got to take a
You're like,
pic.
holy
You got to.
shit! What happened to you?
I'll tell you what,
When I put the black Jesus on, you look like Ken.
a year ago,
Yeah.
a year ago, he was 2 inches taller than me when I was out there.
Yeah.
I was looking up to him, so I believe her.
I
that
can
she's
believe that
6'8".
he's 6'8". When you guys go, you got to take a picture of with you two and Dylan in the middle.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be a great
He'll
picture.
dwarf us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it'll be a great picture.
Yeah, somebody that tall, they probably ain't gonna put him on the front line. They'll be like, "You stay here and operate the drones."
Yeah, just
You just
be out
gave
of
the
the
whole
way.
platoon away. look at the size of your lips. Like you just got everyone caught on a tripwire, damn near. You're better off here cooling off my soup, sir.
Oh Jesus! With your big ass soup coolers.
Damn.
I've never heard that saying until I came on this show.
Yeah.
Scott.
Super.
Well, you know,
I'm sure there's a lot you've never heard until you
we
came
tend
on
to
this
we
show.
tend to offend people, Scotty. You know,
Oh, if they do get a chance to hop on the Streamyard when their dad is there, holy,
you'll see where we get this
shit.
craziness from.
Just wait.
He's like the upper echelon of
Just
goofy.
wait for the show.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a comedy hour.
Oh, it will be.
Jeez. All right, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Scotty.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.